What's up, people? We are back for another Plan Your Play episode, and we are looking at the wrong screen. Let me get you to the the opening screen here, folks. This is what we're used to seeing. There's our hand. We're about to get a closer look at, but allow me to welcome you back to our Plan Our Play. We're playing suit contracts, and this was another interesting hand for us. And I left you with a couple of things. My first thing was, this auction could have been different, and the bid that North has available to them is a very interesting bid. It went a heart of spade initially. The best bid for the North hand these days would be this bid. It would be a bid of 3 hearts. Now, what the heck is that, folks? That seems weird. This is what we would call, first of all, it's a jump Q bid. I'm bidding the opponent's suit at the 3 level. And I'm jumping a level, right? It could have been 2 hearts to show 10 plus points. This 3 heart bid shows 9 cards in a fit, so a 4 card supporting hand with 7 to 9 points. Pretty standard stuff here for that sort of bid. That's a bid you could make with a North hand. 2 spades is not incorrect, as long as you make sure that if they compete to the 3 level, you compete to the 3 level also, because you know you have 9 trump. But here, luckily for us, they bid 2, because that's almost all we can make here. Now, my second part was, what are the first 3 tricks going to be here, folks? Did you get it right? What do you think they're going to be? Well, right-hand opponent opened a heart, so they have 5 hearts. We have 3. That's 8. Dummy has 3. That's 11. How many does left-hand opponent have at most? That is right. They have at most 2. In fact, sometimes they could have 1 if this player has 6, but it looks like they're leading high-low, so if the opponents are playing normal good bridge, the first 3 tricks should be heart to the king, cash the ace of hearts. There's that high-low from left-hand opponent, and there goes our heart winner. Right? So I've waited to count our losers because I wanted you guys to get through that gate, and we've already taken 3 losers. Right? So what more losers do we have potentially here? And unfortunately, it's not pretty. It's at least 1 diamond. However, if the ace of diamonds is here, it could be 2 diamonds. Okay, so this is really brutal for us. It's 1 or 2 diamonds, right? In clubs, it's at least 1. In fact, it looks like at most 1 also. We have long trumps here. We have the ace of clubs, which will take care of our 4, but the king is still out there, and unless they lead it for us, we're likely to lose that as well. And spades has a potential loser also, although less likely. We've already seen 1 player trump. We have 9 total trumps, so the queen is still likely to fall, but it's a potential loser. So we've already lost 3. We have 2 we're definitely taking, maybe a 3rd, maybe a 4th here, so we really aren't out of the woods just yet here. So let's take a look at the next play here, and the next play is this player plays a spade, right, which solves our spade issue. Everyone see that? How many spade losers do we have now? As long as we play low from dummy, it's going to be 0, right? Because we get to take this nice free finesse here. What's the rest of your strategy, folks? How many more trumps are out there, first of all? This is the most common time to miscount trump because the left-hand opponent has already trumped once. There's only 1 trump left out there, folks. And we're going to draw it right now. And we're going to draw it in a way that's beneficial to us going forward. So let me ask you, where do I want to win this spade trick? What hand? Yeah, the North hand, folks. Because I want to play diamonds towards my king and my queen, right? If I lead diamonds from this hand, I'm going to lose 2 diamond tricks always, right? I just can't avoid it if the opponents play good bridge. But if I lead from the dummy, and let's remind you, right-hand opponent did open the bidding, the ace of diamonds still rates to be there, and here's that play once again. They hopped up with the ace of diamonds. However, that doesn't have to happen every time, folks. It's not going to happen every time. If they played low, we would play the king, and if the ace was in the East player's hand, it would hold. And then what would we do? We would transport back over to dummy, either in spades or in clubs, so we could lead another diamond towards our hand and score both our king and our queen, because all we're doing with this play is we're giving the person with the ace a chance to choose first. Whatever they choose, we will choose accordingly afterwards. Okay, this is a finesse for the ace, folks. So now, how many losers do we have left? All right, we've lost 4 already. All right, we lost the ace of diamonds in the first 3 tricks. Do we have any losers left? We certainly do in clubs. Can we get rid of a club loser? No, we can't, folks. We have winning diamonds, but we have the same number of diamonds in this hand. We don't have any way we can trump the club, and there is no finesse because we're missing the jack of clubs. So technically, zero chance unless the opponents are really bad. Now, if you were trying to test if the opponents were really bad, you would probably play the queen from your hand and hope they don't cover an honor with an honor. But here, as it turns out, even if you play a bunch of spades, they never pitch in correctly, so you're just going to lose to the king no matter what. All right, so there it is, folks. There is only 8 tricks, but sometimes you're just going to have a whole bunch of losers from the very start. And let's take a look at what this looked at the beginning. There's the entire hand, and you can see one heart opened on the right. And on this opening lead, we really don't get much information other than the heart position, right? And then we figure out that left-hand opponent had the queen of spades, but one thing we do know is that the ace of diamonds is certainly more likely to be here, for sure. That's all we know. And the other thing we know is the club position can never be solved because we don't have the right cards, right? Notice if we played the queen from this hand, all this player has to do is cover an honor with an honor, which is why we do it. Ace, club tricks are here, right? Or if we play low, it goes low ace, and then the king just takes the queen. So we ourselves are never going to be able to take 2 club tricks. The only way we could is if this player was leading clubs from the beginning, and then we would take 2. But that would be one of the reasons we don't lead away from kings is this sort of play, right? We usually give up tricks. All right, so there we go, folks. All right, let's see the next one. And don't forget, while I pull up this next hand, if you're planning your play here, you can also be planning your trip and planning to play bridge on the high seas with myself, with Larry Cohen, with all the people at Larry Co Bridge and Alice Travels. So if you can't get in on my April cruise with Larry, which is a dual awesome cruise, it's the regional at sea, gold points for all of you really high level players, and then the 0 to 199 crowd, we can play for red points and have a whole bunch of fun doing it. So don't forget, that is very it's a very I think it's going to fill up. And if it's not filled up already, it will be. So if you're watching this and it's already in, take a look at what you have coming in the future, and we will see you out there with us. Let's take a look at tomorrow's hand. And here it is. This is not the easiest hand that you're going to have to deal with here. We're in only 2 spades. And if you look at the auction, folks, it's another revealing one here. This right-hand opponent opened 1 club. I chose to overcall 1 no trump with this hand. I hope you agree. And then partner transferred to spades. That's what that 2 heart bid was there. And we are tasked with playing 2 spades. And we see that our left-hand opponent has led the 10 of spades. So count your losers. Look at ways that we may be able to get rid of losers. And notice the opponents are doing something pretty darn good for their side. They're actually leading trump, which means our hand is going to be short trump very, very quickly here, right? So plan your play, folks. Count your losers. Can you avoid any of these losers? And then let's see how we execute the play on this deal. And I'll see you for it next time, folks. Take care.